Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Think Wrestling. My name is Tom. This is my wrestling reviews. You'll notice the different scene here because we're doing this in my car. This is after Pro Wrestling Subjective
Battle of the Beacon.
Thank you very much. Battle of the Beacon. There's been torrential downpour, and there was no way of me to do it at the actual place. So we are improvising here. The camera is propped up on my car dashboard. I've got Mickey Ali here with me, my usual reviewing partner. Mickey Angel here, my usual reviewing partner.
Hello.
There's not much I can do about the tight angle in terms of the fact that half of Mickey's head is like cropped out. That's just because
go down. No, I can't. You just cast it.
That's just because we're in a tight angle right now, so I have to forgive me for that. But yeah, let's talk about Pro Wrestling Subjective Battle of the Beacon. It is a show spread over two days. The third, which is obviously today, 3rd of August, and tomorrow, which is the 4th of August. Tomorrow is the main Royal Fumble, is it?
Yeah, Royal Fumble.
And yeah, so the way they've been laid out is there's been 3 shows per day. So there's been a 3 PM show, 5 PM show, and a main 7 PM show. I think most of the same guys are going to be there tomorrow, but of course, completely different matches. So yeah, enough blabbing. We'll get on and talk about it now. We won't mention the actual results of who wins and loses. We're just going to give an overall. We won't break down each match because that'll take way too long, and my camera's not got the battery for that because of course I'm doing this in a car. So I'll just give a brief overview of each of the 3 shows and then go from there, really. Yeah, so the first show was the 3 PM show. The first match of that show was, what was it?
2K against
Nathan Byrne, wasn't it? Yeah. So that match, absolutely, 2K is one of the most underrated performers that I know of.
Yeah.
Nathan Byrne, only the 2nd time I've seen him. First time was also the Pro Wrestling Subjective. And again, he is very good.
I think this is the 3rd time we've seen him.
I think, I'm not counting the 3 separate shows as 3 separate times seeing him.
No, because the first time we saw him at Pro Wrestling Subjective was at By Hook or By Crutch. Then he was at Kirby's
of course, yeah. So 3rd time, yeah.
And then tonight.
Yeah. So this is our 3rd time seeing Nathan Byrne, and my God knows how many times at this point seeing 2K. I've seen him so many times, but 2K, I know how good he is. He is I don't know why I don't like. He is a very good comedy wrestler. I don't know why I don't like you that so much. I know some people hate it, but that's what he is, and that's why he's a very funny entertainer. He's got a very amusing and silly character, and he walks into that really well. So what exactly did you make of that match? And before I answer that, what made us laugh so much was that 2K's music, right? This was just comedy gold, right? 2K came out undressed, basically. I mean, he was wearing his trunks and all that sort of thing, obviously, but he was only wearing one shoe, and he wasn't wearing his cape, and his trunks on inside out. Because he said, and I cried, I told you, don't put me on first, I won't be ready. So he spent the first few minutes of that match stalling to tie up his shoes and get himself sorted. So what did you make of that, Mickey Angel?
Well,
it was ridiculous.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I want to talk about it much, but because of your camera battery, I can't.
It's not got that bad about easy things in the angle, that's all. Like, I'll just read it myself. It went on for an hour and 17 minutes after the Vessel Island without being charged up. It's just that, I've not gone without a charge and now since I will, because I stupidly thought I couldn't use it and charge it at the same time. Don't know why I thought that. But since I found out that obviously I can charge it, I've never used it once without charging it. So, but it'll be fine. It's still got 3 bars left, so it'll be absolutely fine. So.
Okay. Well, about the match itself, despite its strange start.
One way to put it.
Well, I couldn't think of anywhere else.
Yeah.
The fact that, you know, you had 2K just lacing up his boots and then fighting him with his tights on inside out. And then there's Nathan and Drew, right? Just look him going...
I want to say now, Drew is one of the best entertainers I've ever seen, full stop. Regardless of if it's music, wrestling, whatever.
Yeah.
He is amazing. People boo him, but he is fucking brilliant at what he does, isn't he? I mean, you can boo what you want, but he's amazing. He's so good at getting the reaction from the crowd, and it's just beautiful to watch. And his match with the Kamikaze Kid was so he is so good at making his opponents look good. I'm sure being kayfabe a bit now, but you know.
Yeah.
But Chris Drew, God, he does not get the credit he deserves. He is unbelievably good at making everyone around him look good.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how they can be the most inexperienced person in the world, and he'll make them look like $1 million. He's brilliant. So Chris Drew, massive ups to you. You were phenomenal this entire time, whether you were wrestling, managing, being a general heel, that sort of thing. You were amazing. That was absolutely fantastic. But anyway, yeah. Respects to you. But anyway, yeah. So you were saying, yeah, about Chris Drew.
Yeah, he is an absolute boss at just getting the crowd to like, you know, try and control the crowd. And especially with what people were saying to him tonight, saying, you know, he looks like a curtain because his actual jacket, right, matched the colour. And the colour just fitted the curtain that the wrestlers were coming out of, so it just fit the entire thing perfectly. Like,
I don't know if that was planned or not, but whatever it was, it worked amazingly. I really hope that it wasn't planned and it was just a complete coincidence, because that would have been, I don't know, somehow better. I don't really know though. I mean, it doesn't really matter at all. The point is that it worked brilliantly. You know what, I'm going to say this now. I see a lot of Paul Heyman in Chris Drew. He's very mouthy on the mic, but you never see him struggling to think of what to say ever. You know, like, he always knows his point and he always makes it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But yeah, the actual match itself was entertaining as all hell. Obviously, we won't talk about the results because we've been instructed not to. But yeah, the actual match was absolutely amazing. I believe it will be up on Turnbuckle TV or something, some streaming solace like that.
I think
soon.
it's Turnbuckle.
Yeah, it is Turnbuckle TV, yeah. Or if it's not, it'll be on their Facebook page, because I know they're filming it. But if you weren't there tonight and you will want to see it, then it'll be up on Turnbuckle TV, I think. Or if not, then Pro Wrestling except on Facebook, I would guess. But yeah, first match, brilliant. I'm going to say it now, my highlight the entire night was Chris Drew, just full stop. Whatever he was doing, he was brilliant in. He was my highlight. Out of all the matches, everything, he was Chris Drew. But yeah, so we then moved on to, what was it? It was
I'm struggling to remember myself.
Yeah, I think because the issue is that there were three shows that spread out, so it's not like there was one show where you can sort of, you know, where you can easily remember the order matches and all that thing. There was 3 separate shows. I don't think who it was. Because I know there was a women's match as well. That was Chantel Jordan versus
Eliza Rue.
Yeah. Was that the second match though, or the third match? I think that was the third one.
Jesse Jones and Jack Bull against
That was it.
Alexander Hyde and Magic Myers.
That was it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So the third match. Chantel and Eliza will get into a minute. A tag match. Jesse Jones and who say Jack Bull, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, Jack Bull versus Alexander Hyde and Magic Myers. Amazing. Tag team matches are always brilliant. Magic Myers and Alexander Hyde work so well together. Magic Myers can do whatever. My voice broke there. Magic Myers. Let me try that again. Magic Myers, there we are, can do whatever you need, whether it be technical, comedy, if you want him to play a really bastard heel, if you want to, you know, he can do a lot. So he was amazing. And Alexander Hyde played into him brilliantly. Alexander Hyde is a heel by nature, I think. His whole physique and overall character is just, you know, tailor-made to a heel. Jesse Jones and Jack Bull, they worked very well together as well. The actual match itself was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think this is like the first time, you know, that we've seen Jesse Jones fight in Pro Wrestling Subjective since his return at Kirby's WrestleLand.
It is the first time because this is also the first show. Kirby's WrestleLand.
Oh yeah, duh. Oh yeah, sorry. But it's actually the first time that, you know, I've seen Jesse Jones fight in general, so that was fun.
That was amazing. Now, I did. We did mention this in the last review that we did. Jesse Jones was previously retired through illness. I don't know the specifics of it.
I do, but I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, and for that reason, obviously, you know, he decided to step away from it. But and what normally happens is if a wrestler is planning a return after a long sort of hiatus for whatever reason, they will build it up on social media and get people hyped for it. There was none of that for this, so Jesse Jones returned out of nowhere, and it meant that for his first match back after returning today, it made it all the more emotional because of what he'd been through to get there. So, and the actual match itself was absolutely fantastic. I can't remember who wins, which is good because I'm not supposed to tell you. So it actually works out great for me. But yeah, it was like Jack Bull is one of the most underrated performers I have seen. He is brilliant.
Yeah, he is definitely. I mean, yeah, this isn't the first time that we have seen him like wrestle in a tag team.
Yeah, because of course, you know, he has previously tagged with his brother Phil Ball as part of the Cannonball Boys.
All the Ball Boys.
The Ball Boys, yeah. With as like part of Steve Valentino's
Party cabin crew.
Party cabin crew. Yeah, something like that. But so yeah, we saw a lot of every single wrestler on the card. There were some wrestlers that only worked one match. You know, no issue with that at all. There were some that were there the entire night. So Jack, Jesse, and Magic Myers were there. All three of them, sorry, did multiple more matches. But this tag match was, for me, interesting because I've never seen Jack work in a tag match without Phil. So that was really interesting for me to see how he and Jesse would work together.
Yeah, I think, you know, what you mean, Ian, I do have to agree with you there, because, you know, at the last show, Jesse did come out in the shock of everyone, including us, right?
Yeah.
To save not only Steve, but as well as the Cannonball Boys from the so-called Drew Dynasty.
Yeah.
Right? No hate on them, right? I do applaud for them for what they're doing, and everything is really good.
Yeah.
But, you know, I do have to agree with you. It is really unique to see Jack.
I'm just going to read just that, because that's annoying me, the fact your head's almost out of frame.
Nah, that's alright.
That's better. I just like leaning a bit more.
Yeah. I think I have to agree with you there, because, you know, Jack, you know, being out of his comfort zone without his brother.
Yeah, you see, that's what interests me, because I don't think he was that much out of his comfort zone, because I think he works well as a tag team wrestler in general. Yeah. I think it was obviously different for him, you know, wrestling, tagging with someone else, but you can see that it was obvious that he wasn't doing anything that he didn't feel comfortable doing, if that makes sense. Like, everything he was doing there, he knew what he was doing. So, in that respect, he wasn't... It didn't... Well, okay, I mean, I could be completely wrong here, but it didn't look like he was too far out of his depth. Jesse worked with him really, really well, and they both worked with Alexander Hyde and Magic Myers amazingly. Magic Myers, he's a very versatile wrestler, isn't he?
Yeah.
He can do pretty much everything. Tag, singles, whatever, you name it, and he'll go and do it. So that was a fantastic match. I don't want to spend too long on each match, obviously, because I don't want to make this, like, stupidly long.
Yeah.
So we will move on quickly, because, of course, we've got two more shows to cover as well. I'm trying to think of a better way to do this, because we're going to be a very long time we talk about all 3 shows, aren't we?
Yeah.
So what? We'll talk about... You know what we'll do, right? We won't talk about every match. We'll talk about the main ones that stood out to us. Does that make sense? Because we could be here forever if we mention all the matches on all the shows. So we've discussed the tag match and the opening one, 2K and Nathan Burns. So we'll so now we'll just select my matches. Sorry if I can talk. Individually that stood out to you. So for you, Mickey, what matches stood out most to you? Because obviously I don't want to spend too long on every single match there, because that'll take bloody forever. Yeah. And of course we're in a car, so I've not got a whole lot of time. Because I already know which ones I want to talk about.
Shit. I think the ones that I've got is probably the same as yours. Maybe. There's a good chance that it probably might not be the same, but I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah.
So I got 2 there, or so I just go for 1?
We'll say 2 each.
Okay, 2 each. Okay, so the first one has to go to Christopher Drew against the Kamikaze Kid.
Yeah.
The debuting
that was
Kamikaze
brilliant,
Kid.
Yeah.
I generally wasn't expecting Drew to fight on the card, let alone against
a child.
Yeah, a child. This is. Should we tell them who the Kamikaze Kid, or should we just let them know?
Don't tell them his actual name, because that's just breaking kayfabe in a disrespectful way, so let's not do that. But Kamikaze Kid, for those of you if you don't know, is obviously mainly a Kamikaze Pro. He is that doesn't reveal anything. Probably does reveal his last name, but anyway. I will beep that out. But yeah, he's technically only a child, and he's younger than Chantel Jordan.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see, and it got a lot of pretty amusing chants from the crowd, such as I'm going to call the child abuse hotline. Someone get some sort of slitters on the. Well, literally, the person in the crowd, don't know who it was. When it was Kamikaze Kid and Steve Valentino versus
Just for Kicks.
Yeah, Just for Kicks. Someone in the crowd shouted, "I'm gonna call the child abuse solicitors," or something like that, and that was just amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, off topic there, Chris Drew, Kamikaze Kid. Chris Drew, as I said before, made everyone there look good, regardless of how good they actually were. He made them look better.
Yeah.
And he made the Kamikaze look. To be fair, the Kamikaze Kid is great. He's only young. He's got a lot of potential ahead of him, and he did brilliantly. But Chris Drew, God, he was doing well.
Either both verbally and physically as well.
And physically, yeah. Chris, he makes everyone look good, yeah.
Okay.
But that match was entertaining as all hell, because it was a child versus fully grown adults, which in itself was pretty interesting.
Is it me, or are we looking a bit darker on the screen?
We are dark because there are no lights here, actually. Wait, hang on. There we are.
Hey!
So that's a bit better, you can see us. Still got a half tank of petrol, so that'll be easy to get in with. Yeah, where were we? Yeah, so Kamikaze Kid, Chris Drew, amazing match. So match that I want to talk about is Chantal Jordan, obviously, one of her matches, versus Eliza Rue. That match,
that was actually the third match in the first show.
Yeah, it was. Now, I don't think I can take anything away from Chantal Jordan versus Charlie Evans and Nightshade. Sorry, Chantal versus Charlie Evans and Chantal Jordan versus Nightshade, 2 separate matches, because they're both amazing, but I know how good they are. Eliza Rue, I've never actually seen before, even though she was at the last Pro Wrestling Subjective show. I was doing an interview with Magic Myers. During her match, so I'd yet to actually see her. I think I saw her briefly in a second show that she did, because I know she's done 3 total shows now with Pro Wrestling Subjective. But it had been a while, so obviously my memory's a bit hazy. But she really impressed me. Chantal Jordan was amazing as always. I'm sure I don't need to explain how good she is. I'm sure most of you already know. But she is one of the most legit fighters in wrestling, and Eliza Rude did really well.
She did
against a fighter. But because Chantal Jordan is a fighter, she can fight. And take her wrestling, Chantal Jordan can fight.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't worry. But yeah, like that was like, I knew how good Chantal was going into that, obviously, but Eliza I wasn't too familiar with, so she really impressed me with that match. It honestly could have gone completely either way. There was no point where you were thinking, oh, Chantal will win this, oh, Eliza will win this. It could have gone, there are so many close calls. I was thinking, oh, Chantal's got this, oh wait, no. Eliza's got this, oh wait, no. So there were so many of those moments, weren't there?
Yeah, definitely. I have to agree with you there. I mean, this is my first time seeing Chantal in general, like, as a wrestler, because I'm used to seeing her like in the crowd at other wrestling shows that I do go to with Pro Wrestling Subjective, but seeing her like in the ring against Eliza and just kicking the shit out of her.
You can't swear.
Kicking the shit out of her. She was kicking her like.
Yeah, they were stiff ass kicks, and Eliza held her own very well against Chantal. They both did brilliantly. Eliza weathered those kicks. She took them like a fucking champ. I'm not going to say this now. Eliza, as I said, obviously I've not seen her too much, so
yeah.
Eliza did impress me a lot in the match, and I know she'll be there tomorrow, I think, because I know she mentioned it to me before she left, because obviously she had to leave early. I think she'll be there tomorrow. I hope she will be there tomorrow, because she was amazing and I want to see her again as much as I can, basically. But Chantal Dawn was fantastic. Chantal Dawn put on 3 amazing matches that night. Yeah, so what was your second match that really stood out to you?
I haven't thought, but okay. I'm gonna go for okay, let's go for this one. Jesse Jones against the Judge.
Yes.
Which was the final match on the final show after the torrential downpours.
And actually, here's a fact for you. I think it was at the final show Subjective did at the Station Hotel in Dudley. The last match on the card was the Judge versus Jesse Jones in a Force Count Anywhere match, or an Extreme or something like that.
Yeah.
Which you weren't there for.
Exactly. I wasn't around that time.
But yeah, that match for me stands as the best match in Pro Wrestling Subjective's history, and so I knew how good the Judge and Jesse could work together and do work together. So I had high hopes going to this one, and they did not let me down at all. They were phenomenal. I can't, like, literally all I can say without saying the winner of the match was it was fucking amazing. It was brutal and it was brilliant.
Yeah. And the Judge himself, right, he is a genius on the mic, I'll tell you that.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's just brilliant at just heckling his opponents and just completely trying to, like, make them not focus on winning the match. I don't know if that's the best way of saying it.
Basically, keep them distracted from the match. Basically.
Yeah, that. But yeah, I have to agree with you there. It was an excellent match, and I felt like I was like actually at that match that you mentioned at the Station Hotel, but in modern day, with rules put in, but yeah, so I can understand that. Yeah,
I'm trying to now think of what I can, because the judge and Jesse was also my second match, but I now want to go for a different one because I do still want to talk about a few of them. But okay, well, now we will only talk about one more because I don't want to be too long because I do need to get back basically and have some proper food because I've had a sandwich.
And drop me off.
Yeah, basically. So we won't. So we'll mention one more match. So what match do you want to talk about?
Okay, since I did mention Kamikaze Kid,
Yeah.
I'm actually going to talk about the other. No, I'm not going to look at that much because we did talk about. I was going to have him and Valentino against Just for Kicks, but we already did talk about that one. So I'm going to go for the Okay, let's go for this one. Steve Valentino against Palmer the Necessity Evil.
Palmer the Necessary Evil.
Necessary Evil.
Yeah. Now that was a good match.
A heavy hitting match.
Yeah, heavy hitting match. Palmer is he's a big man, and he is not someone you're going to outmuscle.
This is actually the first time I've seen. Is this the first time you've seen him as well?
Oh no, I saw him once at Wolfram Pro Wrestling a few months ago as well. Which is why I knew him so well. Speaking to him backstage because we met many times before.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a good match. This was hard hitting.
Yeah.
Palmer is a monster of a man, and Steve. It was two completely different styles clashing, basically, wasn't it? Palmer, who is much more of a heavy hitter and someone who's very tough to take down, versus Steve, who is I wouldn't call him a high flyer as such, but it's sort of a fusion of everything. It's sort of a fusion of hard hitting, some like high flying sort of thing. So, but whatever style you call Steve, it was two completely contrasting styles. Because Steve is not as big as Palmer at all, so the strength definitely went to Palmer. But Steve held his own really well, didn't he?
He did, definitely.
I mean, it's difficult to talk about it because the issue is that we're doing this a while after the last match, and there's a lot of matches that happened since then, so it's difficult to pick out distinctly what happened. So all I can really say about that one is how much of a good match it was, and Steve weathered Palmer better than I thought he would, to be honest, because Palmer is a big lad.
He is.
He's a big lad.
Good God.
And so I didn't think it would be a squash match as such at all, because I know Steve is, he's too good to be squashed. But I did think it would be much more of an uphill battle than it was for Steve. That makes sense. So I was really impressed by how well Steve was holding his own against Palmer and Necessary Evil. And Palmer looked like he was taken back a bit by how well Steve was coping with him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, definitely. But still, though.
Hard hitting match. We won't ramble on much more because obviously we do need to go home basically. But we will be back tomorrow, probably with another one of the same style reviews, just sitting in the car, talking nonsense basically.
Depending if the weather's alright.
Well, even if it is, there's no way that we can really do it out there. Because, So this will be up as soon as possible, basically.
Yeah.
It'll be. I'm gonna try and get this up middle of the week with the one tomorrow following it the day after. So Mickey Angel, thank you for joining me for this wrestling review. I know obviously not the best of locations to do it, but I was not spoiled for choice this time.
Nah, no worries, man.
So thank you for joining me.
Don't mention it.
That was the wrong hand.
Oh bloody hell, Tom! It's a handshake. There we go. Jesus. Anyways,
I'm coordinated. So we will see you tomorrow with another one of these wrestling reviews. So Mickey, thank you for joining me, and see you tomorrow. Peace out and bye.
Yep. See you later.